In this episode, I'm answering the question, Lisa, how do I maintain my confidence when things seem to be taking way too long to materialize? When it seems as if my big goal is taking forever to achieve. Woo! Do I know a little something about that? Time. You know, maintaining confidence and conviction while you're moving forward and feeling like you should be moving faster and yet it feels like a snail's pace. Here's what I know. When we set our goals in place, we do not ever factor in life that happens. We don't factor in the family needing us as much as they do. We don't factor in maybe running out of money, or we don't factor in how we need to use our money in a different direction. We don't factor in health, especially if we get shocked with a health issue. We don't factor in other family members who might urgently need our attention. So, the number one way to maintain your confidence and your focus when you're on your way to a big goal and it seems to be taking longer is to set up the timeline of when you expect to achieve that goal to actually factor in the unexpected. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, factor in the unexpected. You don't know what it is, but there's things that could happen. The worst thing that can happen if you're wrong is nothing occurs and you hit your goal sooner than what you expected. But I'm really clear at times when I say I want to hit a goal in 6 months, I give myself 8, 9, 10, 11 months to do it in. Not that I'm trying to sit down on myself, but I don't know what's going to happen with my son. I don't know how my dad might need me. I don't know if I need to urgently put my money in a different direction. And so to help your confidence and your self-esteem maintain, set a timeline that actually plans for the unexpected. The other thing is, understand your micro wins. A lot of times, we don't see the micro wins. So let's say you want to build a website. That is a huge goal. Believe me, I've built a website probably about 5 times. That's a huge goal. That's a macro goal. But what are your micro wins inside of the macro goal? You got the colors for your website. Micro win. Oh, you got the labels for the drop-down boxes. Micro win. Oh, you got the photos that you want to go on the home page. Micro win. So recognize when you have micro wins on your way to your macro goal. I have several programs on my campus. Ignite Your Speaking and Writing and Elevate are my 2 cornerstone programs that I teach live. And I open up both of those programs with, what do you want to be celebrated for? We pick several of the students that's in our virtual class, and the first thing we do is we celebrate our micro wins. Why? Because if you don't celebrate your micro wins, you'll feel miserable as you begin to climb towards your macro goal. You'll have too much time lapse between the moment you set the goal and when you get to celebrate the goal. So give yourself the gift of micro wins. And lastly, make sure you're in and you're actively in a community. When I say actively in, I mean you're talking to a group of people every other week. And those people are asking you, what small step did you take in the last 2 weeks to hit your macro goal? Now, it doesn't have to be formal, but in some cases it can be. You want to stay in a community that's asking you about that macro goal. Set yourself up. I love to say it's a setup. I'm setting myself up to stay focused, to keep my confidence high, and to stay in movement. So every other week, have a 45-minute or less conversation. I like to say it goes no longer than 59 minutes with a group of people, 40 minutes with one other person, where you're asking, what were your micro wins to get you to that macro goal, and what do you want to be celebrated for? And now, what are you in action on? So those are a few techniques on how to maintain your confidence as you go after those big, bodacious goals, and how to not get distracted if they seem to be taking longer than you thought. Finally, remember, you made up the date in which you felt you'd have this macro goal done by. That's your date. Allow that date to have movement. Stay parked between fluid and flexibility. Remember, this show is not just a monologue, it's a dialogue. I'm not here to talk at you. I'm not here to just tell you things. I'm here to listen and to have a dynamic, rich conversation with you. So I would love to hear from you. Do you have a goal, a big goal you've been going after for a long time, and you've begun to stop or lose confidence because you think it's taking you way too long? What did you hear in this episode that reminded you, oh, I get to do that? What did you hear that helps to make you feel better about your journey to your goal? What did you need that you heard in this episode? Leave me a comment. I love to hear from you. And if you haven't already done so, I invite you to subscribe. This is a beautiful, beautiful environment with a bunch of amazing gladiators and change agents that you get to call your home and that you get to call your tribe. I hope that you recognize that I'm your sister in prosperity and in possibility. And each time I say that I believe in you and that I love you, it's because I do. I'll see you real soon.